Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetstools.com, and today we are going to do the quick unboxing and full review of LG G Pro Lite. The model number of this device is LG D686, which is available here in India. And if we take a look over the box, this is how the box looks like. We have some specifications of the device mentioned. That is, it has a 5.5 inch display, as you can see over here. And again, this display has 520 into 960 pixel resolution, so it does not give you a full high definition resolution, not an HD. It is a QHD display. And again, this phablet basically from LG is a budget Android phablet, which they have provided for a price of around 19 to 20,000 Indian rupees. In terms of the overall performance and power, it is pretty good. It has got a 1 GHz dual core processor, and you have dual SIM functionality supported on this device, and you have Optimus UI 3.0 on this device. It also comes with a capacitive S Pen which comes within the body of the phone, so it is just like the same form factor which you might have seen on Samsung Galaxy Note 2. And it has dual loudspeakers, so there are two speakers for the volume to come out, for the sound to come out basically. And it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth certification automatically. And then you have the model number of this device, or the name is LG G Pro Lite. And if we take a look over the box is kind of simple. It is not something which is fancy kind of packaging, I would say. Now if we take a look over here, we have the specifications of the device mentioned, and then we have the accessories which is there inside the box. That is a data cable, earphone, quick start guide. The SAR values of the device is 0.435 weight per kg head, and it is 1.3 weight per kg body. And so let's unbox this device and show you the phone. So the first thing which we get in the box is the device itself, and here we have the LG G Pro Lite Dual, and this is called Dual because it supports 2 SIM cards. And in terms of the overall build quality and the form factor, in terms of the build quality, first of all I would like to tell you that the build quality of this phone is just like any other plastic phone. It does not feel that good as you see on LG G2, but again it is pretty solid. There is no problem, none of the parts is actually making any kind of noise, and the display also looks pretty good and colorful. So we will take a look over the device later on. Let's take a look what we have in the package apart from the device. So once we open the package, we get a micro USB cable which comes within the package. Apart from this, we get these headphones. These are in-ear headphones which come within the package, and they also have a module over here with a button to pick the call. It does have a mic over here as well, and this is how the L-shaped audio lead will look like for the 3.5mm audio jack. And here we have the charger which comes, and the output current from this charger is 1.2 ampere. So it is going to charge your LG G Pro Lite much faster. And these are all the things which we have in the package. And again, this is an already open package, so we do not get the user manual and other warranty guide, although you will get that when you purchase this device. So that's all as far as the unboxing is concerned. Let's take a look over the device now. This is how the LG G Pro Lite look, and again in terms of the look and feel, it definitely looks pretty good, I would say, in terms of the build quality as well. However, you have plastic at the back side, but again it is good quality of plastic. You have glossy finish on the back cover of LG G Pro Lite, and again it is fingerprint catchy as you can see, but you won't see the scratches very easily as far as the back cover is concerned. On the front we have the nice metallic earpiece over here. Here we have the front camera, and the front camera on this device is a 1.3 megapixel fixed focus camera. When it comes to the back camera is an 8 megapixel camera. It has an LED flash as well, and the back camera is capable of recording high definition video as well, and you can do a high definition video recording at 720p at 30 frames per second, but you cannot record 1080p video from this device from the back camera. Here we have the power and sleep key, and again this device is pretty big in terms of the display size, as you can see. And still with that display size, the bezel is quite thin and you can easily hold the device in one hand. It is kind of handy in terms of the form factor. With these rounded edges at the back side does give you a better grip when you hold the device in one hand. It is quite comfortable to hold in one hand. In terms of the weight as well, comparing it with the other phablet, this is a pretty light phablet, I would say. It weigh around 161 gram, which is fairly good. In terms of the thickness, it is around 9.4 millimeter in terms of the overall thickness, And when it comes to the display resolution is 540 into 960, and again it is not a very high resolution on this display. Still the text feel pretty good in terms of the rendering and the clarity. I don't see any pixelation as such on this display. That is something I would like to tell you. Apart from this, if we take a look over the display viewing angles, the viewing angles are pretty good. You can view the display from extreme viewing angles without any issues. There is no problem with that. There is no fading of colors happening. Even if you view the screen from extreme right side viewing angles or from the vertical angles as well. And it gives you a 200 pixels per inch density on this 5.5 inch display. And when it comes to the display technology, it is IPS LCD display. Now let me just show you the ports and connectivity. At the bottom we have the micro USB port for data syncing and charging. Over here we have the primary mic. On this device we have two loudspeakers, one on this side and another on this side, so it is going to give you more sound in terms of the volume you are thinking of. And as we can see, there is a fine chrome grill which is actually on the edges. Again, makes this device look good in terms of the feel, and it definitely makes it quite premium in terms of the look and feel. You do have an IR blaster on this device as well, and you have a secondary mic as well on this device. Here we have the S Pen, which comes a capacitive stylus or S Pen, whatever you call it, and this is a capacitive stylus. There is no button, there is no digital functionality which is associated. This is just like any other capacitive stylus which you can use with this device, but still it is much more optimized and very nicely designed. Very nice in terms of the build quality as well, I would say. As you can see, it is made up of metal on the top as well as on this side, as you can see, and you can easily use this device with this capacitive stylus which comes. You can use it for annotations, you can draw things, you can quickly note things with the quick memo. Over here we have the 3.5mm audio jack. On this side we have the quick launch button. You have the volume rocker over here, which is again a plastic button, a small one, but you can easily use it. And on this side we have the power and sleep key, very nicely placed so that you can easily access it with your thumb. Either with your left hand you can access this, or with the right hand you can also access it. When it comes to the front, you have the touch capacitive buttons which are there on the body of the phone, not within the display, and there is a capacitive button over here as well. In case you want to switch in between the two SIM card which you have on this device, you can do that with the help of this button over here. It is a capacitive button. And let me just unlock this device, and again the UI is definitely similar to the UI which we have seen on LG G2 or any other Optimus UI phone. It is kind of fast and snappy UI, I would say. There is no problem as far as the UI is concerned. So I really like this UI, and the transitions are kind of smooth. You do have different kind of animations which you can apply. Just remove the back cover to show you the phone from the back side. There is a little indent to remove the back cover, and once we remove the back cover, we can see here we have the battery. The battery on this device is 3140 mAh. As you can see, pretty big battery for a device like this. You have the SIM card slot which are one above the other. You can insert this first SIM card on the top, and the second SIM card will go at the bottom. And over here we have the slot over here for the micro SD memory card. So in case you feel that the storage is not enough, you can actually expand the storage of this device with the help of a micro SD memory card. The inbuilt storage of this device is 8 GB, and we will just show you how much of that is actually available, and we will also tell you whether you can install applications on the SD card or not. Now here we have all the home screens, as you can see, and again you can increase and decrease these home screens. You can have maximum 7 home screen on this device. Let me just go to the notification center. So this is how the notification center will look like. You have quick toggles for all the basic settings, including Wi-Fi, brightness, and all of the things. You can also adjust the brightness from here, as you can see. Although I think we do not have support for automatic brightness, but there are some sensors over here. We will just confirm the same. So let me just go to the settings now, as of now. So this is how the setting UI will look like, and again this is kind of a phone in which the UI is very much optimized and kind of different in terms of the look and feel. And as you can see, this is running Android 4.1.2 as far as the version of Android this device is running. When we take a look over the storage information, let me just show you the storage scenario as well. On the storage front, this device has 8 GB of internal memory, and out of 8 GB, around 4.67 GB is available to the user. And you also have support for SD card, so you can install an SD card, but you cannot install applications on the SD card. That is a problem with this device. And when it comes to the applications, let me just show you the RAM scenario as well. This device has 1 GB of RAM. Let me just show you how much of that is actually free. So out of 1 GB of RAM, 413 MB of RAM is being used as of now, and you get around 565 MB of RAM which is free, so which is pretty good for a device like this, so that you can actually install more applications and heavy games as well. You do have one-handed operation supported on this device, so that you can actually shift the dial pad to the left or to the right whenever you are dialing number, and in case this device is kind of big, so you may not be able to reach this part, especially when you hold this device with one hand. You can also shift the keyboard, and you can also shift the lock pattern on the lock screen. So these are some one-handed operations supported. When it comes to the display, let me just show you the display scenario as well. So in terms of the brightness, this device does not support automatic brightness, so it does not have ambient light sensor. So in that case, in case you go out, you will have to adjust the brightness on your own. That is the manual adjustment which you will need to make. When it comes to the wallpaper support, you will have support for static wallpapers, live wallpapers, but video wallpapers by default are not supported. Again, you can make them supported with the help of third-party applications. When it comes to the sound options, you do have large number of options as far as the different kind of notification sound which you can specify for different things, but you do not have any enhancement option specifically to enhance the sound which will come out from the earphones which you will get. And again, the earphones which you get with this device are in-ear headphones, so the overall quality is good and we have used that, but the overall bass level through that headphones is not that good. So that is one thing which I wanted to tell you. Support for portable Wi-Fi hotspot, so that you can actually create a Wi-Fi hotspot with the help of the 3G SIM card which you will insert into this device. And as far as the slots are concerned, there is one slot for 3G and another slot will support 2G. So only one of the SIM card which you will insert into this device will support 3G. And when it comes to other settings, when it comes to the location access, you do have GPS navigation supported on this device. You can use this device for navigation as well. For that, make sure that you enable access to your location, and GPS satellite option should be on, and you will be able to use this device for GPS navigation anytime, anywhere. When it comes to the quick button, which is over here, you can actually customize the functionality of this quick button to launch different applications like Quick Memo. You can also launch some other application which you have installed on this device with the help of this quick button. For example, if we specify Play Store, whenever we press the quick launch button, it will automatically launch Play Store like this. Now as you can see, this is how the phone dialer look like, and again you do not have the option of making a video call directly from the phone dialer, but you can actually shift the phone dialer either to the left or to the right, so that you can easily dial phone numbers on this device whenever you are using it with one hand. Let me just show you the messaging application. So again, the messaging application is also optimized in terms of the look and feel. Everything is kind of optimized and make it has been made look different on this device. When it comes to continuous typing, by default you do not have it supported on this device, but you will need to enable the same. For that, you can go to the keyboard settings over here, as you can see. And once you do that, you do have the option of doing the continuous typing on this device with swipe to type with your finger. When it comes to the UI which we have for the messaging application, it is definitely looking different. Although you will not face any problem while typing on this device, even when you are using this device keyboard in the portrait mode, and in the landscape mode it becomes much easier. Now when it comes to the application which comes pre-installed, you get a large number of useful applications which come pre-installed on this device, including file manager. You have a guest mode also supported on this device, so that once you enable the guest mode, you can actually make sure that if you are handing your phone to anyone else whom you do not want to see some applications and they should have limited access, you can actually specify that with the guest mode, so that all those applications which you specify in the guest mode, they can only use that. And this is going to be very useful option for the kids, in case you give your phone to kids, so you can use the guest mode in that case. You do have application manager over here, with which you can actually install and uninstall applications on this device pretty easily. When it comes to some other application, you have LG backup application, you have FM radio which will come pre-installed. Apart from this, you do have quick remote, you have Twitter application which will come pre-installed, you have Play Store application. So you have all the regular applications. Apart from that, you get all these useful applications like LG Smart World, Smart Share, which will again give you a large number of options when it comes to installing applications, different kind of applications. You also get Google Chrome browser pre-installed, apart from the stock browser which we have on this device. Now taking a look over the hardware configuration of this device, here we have the hardware configuration. It has got a ARM V7 processor clocked at 1 GHz. It is a dual core processor which we have, and it is MediaTek 6577 as far as the chipset is concerned. The effective display resolution is 540x960, which is a QHD resolution. You have PowerVR SGX 531 as the GPU on this device, and here we have all the sensors on the device, which includes orientation, magnetic accelerometer, proximity sensor as well. Now taking a look over the quadrant standard, we have got a score of 3218 on this device, and this is where the device actually ranks when it comes to comparing it with other devices. Here we have the detailed score for this device for CPU, memory, input-output operation, 2D and 3D. On multi-touch, this device has 10-point multi-touch. So on AnTuTu, this device has got a score of 8150 as you can see, and let's take a look over the detailed score first of all. And here we have the detailed score for the CPU, RAM, GPU and input and output operations. Let me just go back and show you the ranking of this device as well. So when it comes to the bar chart, this is where this device actually ranks as compared to the other devices in terms of the benchmark scores. On Ninamark, we have got a score of 24.1 FPS, and again this device is not too good on the gaming front, and we have tried running some medium graphic intensive games like Frontline Commando D-Day. You can play those games as well as some high graphic intensive games as well, but you will notice good amount of frame drop and some graphic glitch as well. However, when it comes to the games, casual games like Temple Run 2, Subway Surfer Rocket, you can play those games without any issues on this device. Now here we have the camera UI as you can see, and we are right now in the photo mode, and let me just show you the setting for the same. So you do have all these options which you have seen on the other LG phones. You can also use the volume rocker to actually capture the photo. You can change the shutter sound. You do have the option of geotagging, color effect and all other things over here. The maximum megapixel photo you can take is 8 megapixel, and that will be 3:4, and you can also take wide 6 megapixel photo as well. And let me just show you some modes as well on this device. So you do have panorama mode supported, continuous shooting mode is also supported, night modes and sports mode is also there. You do have beauty shot mode as well, and let me just show you the view from the front camera. So here we have the front camera, which is a 1.3 megapixel camera, pretty good to do a high definition video chat. Although when it comes to the quality which I can see on the device, I can see some grains on this device from the front camera. And I don't know whether you can see them or not, but there are some grains. So when it comes to the video settings, let me just show you the video settings as well. So when it comes to high definition video recording, you can only record high definition video at 720p, not at 1080p, and you do have brightness option, white balance option. You can also use the volume rocker to actually record the video as well. So let me just take a photo as of now to show you the quality, and we are right now taking this photo in an indoor room with some artificial light, and let me just show you how does this photo actually look like. So once we open this photo into the gallery, let me just show you the same. So here we have taken this photo, and this photo looks pretty good in terms of the colors, I would say. And when I zoom in, the amount of details which I can see is also pretty good. We have also taken some other shots in low light, and this is how they actually look like, as you can see. And in daylight, the overall performance of the camera is really good. As you can see, this photo is taken from this device again in daylight. So the daylight performance is definitely good, and the low light performance is not bad as well. Now here we have loaded our website into the stock Android browser which we get on this device, and again this browser does allow you to do tab browsing, and also it gives you a kind of full screen browsing experience as well. There is no problem as far as the rendering of the text is concerned. It is pretty crisp and clear into this browser. There is no problem with the kinetic scrolling. Pinch to zoom is again quite fluid. There is no issue at all, and double tap to zoom does work, and you can also do panning in case you need to. And again, this device has a pretty big display, so it can actually render a large amount of text. You also have the option of playing the YouTube videos within the web page into this browser. You don't have to open YouTube application for the same, and you do have the navigation bar as well, which is kind of minimal because it is hidden all the time. You can actually make it unhidden like this. So as you can see, we are playing a YouTube video on this device from our channel, and this video is getting played in high quality format, not in the high definition format, because of the resolution which we have on this device. And let me just increase the volume as well. So the overall volume which comes out from the loudspeaker, it is pretty loud because of these dual loudspeaker on this device. And again, the placement of these loudspeaker in terms of the design is also good, because they won't get blocked whenever you place this device like this on a table. So because the loudspeaker is actually not at the back but it is on the edge, so it will actually give you good quality as well as loudness from the sound which will come out from this device. And when it comes to the viewing angles, let me just show you the same. So when it comes to viewing angles as well, you can actually watch the video on this device from extreme viewing angles without any issues, as you can see. Now to show you the overall gaming performance of this device, we are playing Subway Surfer on this device, as you can see. And I see no problem on this device as far as playing this specific game is concerned. Graphics are loading fine. The overall touchscreen response is also pretty good. There is no issue with that as well. So you can easily play this game or Temple Run OZ or any other similar game like this one without any issues on this device. It can also play some graphic intensive game, some medium graphic intensive games, not heavy games. Pretty fine, as you can see. And you also have the option of creating a portable Wi-Fi hotspot with the Internet tethering option available on this device. You do have support for Bluetooth tethering, and USB tethering is also available. So we have just connected the flash drive with the help of an OTG cable with this device, and this device does not have OTG support as it has not detected the flash drive and we cannot read the contents. The overall battery backup on this device is pretty good. It will give you around 1 day or a little bit more than 1 day of battery backup if you use it moderately. That means you don't play heavy games on this device, and you don't play games and you don't play videos for a longer time. Again, you can always play games and watch videos as well on this device for around 1 hour or more during the day, but still it will give you a 1 day battery backup. If you do these things more, then in that case you will get little less than 1 day battery backup on this device. So in all, the overall battery performance in terms of the backup on this device is pretty good. So that's all from us as far as the quick hands-on review of the LG G Pro Lite. We really like this device in terms of the overall value for money you get with this device. This device is available for a price of around 19 to 20,000 Indian rupees. In terms of the build quality, this device is good. In terms of the overall UI, it is pretty good. The hardware configuration of this device is also good. The overall day-to-day usage when it comes to gaming is pretty good. Again, you may not be able to play high graphic intensive games on this device, but even if you can play them, you will notice some graphic glitch on this device. So definitely this device is not very suitable for gaming, but you can always play moderate games on this device without any issues. In terms of the overall day-to-day usage, the overall performance, this device is going to be a good device at this price point. And the camera performance is also pretty good. Although you cannot record full high definition videos from the back camera, you can only record videos with 720p. The front camera is also pretty okay for video chat, not too good again, but still it is going to give you pretty okay results at this price point. It is quite value for money. So in all, I would like to give a thumbs up to this device, and not in terms of the overall value for money this device offers. You also get an capacitive stylus S Pen with this device, which you can always use in case you need to, and it always goes inside the device, so you don't have to carry it separately. So the overall design language which LG has actually followed is pretty good on this device, and the build quality is also good. So do let us know if you have any specific question for LG G Pro Lite. We would love to help you. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.